Next, Mr. Chairman, Erica Boggs.
Admittedly, in the past, I have paid very little attention to the Board of Commissioners. Your meetings are what you even do. Project Oak is what brought my attention to you and your responsibilities in our local government. Since hearing about Project Oak, I have learned about Project Sail, Project Peach, Project Pegasus in Bridgeport. In doing my research about these proposed data centers, I have come to learn there's a condescending term that the people use for people who have been here since day one. Those same 10 people. I find that term particularly interesting because of the number chosen, 10. Immediately, this number brings to mind Genesis 18, where God told Abraham that for the sake of 10 righteous people, he would not destroy the city. God found 10 was great enough a number, but there are people among us who would mock 10. Well, I, for one, am grateful for those 10. They came, they listened, and they stood up when needed, while the rest of us were busy at work or at home with our children, trusting that those we elected to represent us were representing us. I have been to several of these meetings now, and I believe that it is clear to anyone who is listening that the majority of the people you represent want you to vote no to rezoning for these data centers. But just in case, I'm here to stand as another voice saying vote no. Not in my backyard. That's another phrase I've seen thrown around, another negative way to attempt to make ordinary citizens sound like the problem for not wanting our rural conservation land destroyed. Not in my backyard. I wonder, who does want them in their backyard? They produce unnatural noise, displace wildlife, and disrupt human neurological, cardiovascular, and vestibular systems, even when there's no audible noise detected. Companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta, just to name a few, want these data centers to store the data for their multi-million-dollar companies. Jeff Bezos owns roughly 462,000 acres of land in the United States. Bill Gates owns 275,000, and Mark Zuckerberg owns more than 2,000. So if they want these data centers, why do they need to build Project Oak on rural conservation land here in Coweta County? Why do they need 5 data centers in our rural Coweta? The answer is simple. They don't want them in their backyard, and neither do we. Thank you.